everybody, and welcome to Konvos with Kris, where we talk about hot topics and have respectable conversations. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today's hot topic, surviving RKelly. Before I get into this topic, because it is a very delicate issue, I want to make it clear on where I stand. I absolutely believe the victims in the documentary. I believe that RKelly is a pedophile and that he is sick. I want to commend those women for their bravery in sharing their story. I'm glad that they shared their truth despite some of you condemning them. And I am so thankful for the conversations that this issue is bringing up, because it is a conversation that is long overdue in our community. With that being said, let's talk about point number one. I want to take a moment to talk about RKelly, the victim. Yes, I know right now we're like this monstrous person. How is he a victim? He's not a victim. He did this and this and this and this and that to all these people. But I don't want to talk about RKelly. I want to talk about Robert, the 7-year-old. The 7-year-old that got molested by a trusted family member from ages 7 till about 13 or 14. I want to talk about the fact that he and his brother were molested and they didn't say anything out of fear that nobody would believe them, or out of fear that the person that was hurting them would be protected. That brings me to talk about us as adults. Guys, especially my generation, we have to create a safe space for our children and listen to them. If they say that they are uncomfortable around somebody, if they say that they don't like somebody, or they don't want to go here, they don't want to go there, we don't need to force them to do these things. And we need to make sure that we are having conversations with them to let them know this is a safe space. Baby, tell me what's going on. Always. You know you can always come to me, right? Is everything okay? How are you doing? Let them know I'm going to always believe you and I'm going to always have your back, so that they do not become fearful to tell us the truth. This whole notion of children should be seen and not heard is very common in our community. And I feel like we need to scratch that and say, baby, what is it that's on your mind? Let you know. If you are a parent, mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, grandmother, grandfather, family friend, create a safe space for the children. Listen to them. Let them know that they have a voice, so that we don't come to this situation now where we have a victim that someone never told him that it was wrong what was happening to him because he kept silent out of fear. And this victim turned man turned pedophile who's created this disastrous situation what we have now. We have to create a safe space for our kids. Point number 2. Conversation question. Are we going to hold the adults that witnessed all of this accountable? I personally feel like that we should. They are just as guilty as RKelly is, simply because the girls were just that. Y'all are looking at them as women. They were girls at the time. They were immature, and they have the right to be that way. We were all young and immature at one point and made bad decisions. And we eventually grew and learned from that. So they are blameless. But those adults that sat around and watched it and knew that it was wrong and accepted it to be okay, I have a problem with them, because there is no way on this earth that I am going to see a child being abused physically, emotionally, sexually, and sit silent. You can call Kris a snitch all you want, but when it comes to children, oh, that's my priority. I am not going to sit and watch them be victimized and sit silent. Some of them, tour managers and all, thinking back, laughing. No, this is not a laughing matter. Why did you think that that was okay and not say anything? So let's have a conversation in the comments. Do you think that they should be held accountable as well? Or should we be just as outraged with them as well? Last point, do we still listen to RKelly's music? This is a conversation that needs to happen. There are various points all over the place. There are people that say, this man is not getting a dime out of me anymore. I'm not listening to his music because I don't support pedophiles. And then there are others that, oh, I'm still going to listen to his music. And then you got people unfriending people and all this big madness. Y'all, let's just talk about it instead of unfriending each other. First, We need to see where are our boundaries. You know, do we stop listening to his music out of support for the survivors? You know, I personally can't say that I'm going to stop or if I'm going to continue listening to it now that I know the meaning behind the lyrics. So that's going to be a personal choice. But I will say, whatever I decide, if I do listen to the music, it will be in the privacy of my own home, in a car ride here and there. I will never play it out in the public for fear of triggering a victim. Okay. However, I do think that what about the memories that are associated with the music? Do we negate those memories because now this man is a pedophile? Or do we separate the man from the art? And I'm not asking to be controversial or to be judged. I'm literally asking so that we can have a conversation. Maybe you guys can share something in the comments to help us all think, oh, wow, why didn't I think of that? Or I didn't think of it this way. We need to not get mad at each other and actually have a conversation about this. Do we listen to the music? Do we separate the man from the art? There is no right or wrong answer, but I do want to hear your thoughts. So respectfully, let's converse. You have been watching Konvos with Kris. Like my page, Konvos with Kris. Follow me on Instagram, and if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button.